What's going on, guys? I'm Bill and welcome to Billshowto. Today we're going to be comparing these two lanterns here. We've got the P780 from Ryobi and then we've got the Coleman 425L. Let's do this. Alrighty guys, today we've got a review and a comparison between these two lanterns here. We've got the P780 in the Ryobi, which is the older model. This one here is 2 years old, and I've recently purchased the Coleman 425L, which is basically 425 lumens to replace my Ryobi. Now, as I do a lot of camping, fishing and hunting, I've always got one of these out with me, and I've had no problems with the Ryobi in the past. Only reason why I upgraded to the Coleman was because it has a USB port. So very, very important. Every time I go out, if my battery goes flat, I thought, perfect, I can charge it off this one here. And I wasn't very, very impressed with this one here, and I'll get into that in a second. So the P780 paid probably about $30–40 in Australia, so you guys probably pay about half that price overseas once you convert all the currency and everything. So this one here is awesome. I've had it for 2 years, 130 lumens, very, very nice, solid build on it. I've dropped this a million times and never had any issues. It's got a mad diffuser, very nice and solid. We don't want to break that, so we've got also a rubber handle on top, which means I can carry it around with perfect grip on the top. Obviously, it uses the 1+ battery range, which means that I've got lots of these batteries, so for me it's no problem whatsoever. When it comes to runtime, the specs online say 27 hours runtime. That's on low using the small battery, so I'm assuming that's the 1.5 to 2.5 amp battery, but for me I'm not too concerned about that. I've got plenty of batteries, and I also take power tools with me when I go camping, fishing and hunting. So for me, this one here, like I said, has been really good companion for the past 2 years. Haven't had any problems with it. I was simply looking to upgrade something with a bit more power, and especially that USB port. So when I went shopping around, I found this one here, the Coleman 425, and initially I wasn't going to buy it because it was a bit expensive. This one here was $89, so it's pretty expensive for a lantern. Once again, if you guys are overseas, more than likely it's probably half that price, but for here in Australia it was $89. There wasn't any reviews online for this one here, so I thought I'm just going to have to be the guinea pig, and unfortunately I've kind of got stung by this one. So let's get straight into it. This one is 425 lumens, like I said. It's got rechargeable batteries, which is awesome. I didn't want something where I have to replace the batteries and then put new ones in case when I go out they go flat. So no batteries, it's simply rechargeable, which I ran into my first problem. The recharge time on this is absolutely ridiculous. I don't know if I've got something wrong with this one here. It's a faulty one, but it takes over 8 hours to charge. That's a joke. I'm not very impressed with that. When it comes to runtime, it's got decent runtime, so it could be the reason why it charges for so long. When we run this on high on 425 lumens, the runtime is at 40 hours. So 40 hours is pretty good. Running this on high, I wasn't too worried about that. I was actually happy with the runtime on that. And it's also got a span of 9 meters, apparently. When we run this on low, we run it at 50 lumens, which is pretty low. And it's got 330 hour runtime, so it's got a huge runtime if you run this on low, which I've got no problem running this on low. If I just leave this next to my campsite or hang it up on the tent or anything like that, I more than likely will run it on low unless I need to see something immediately in front of me. So with regards to the build, it's very nice, solid, sturdy. I'm very happy with the build of it until I got to the actual top bit. So this top bit here and the bottom section here is basically where it'll land anytime you drop it. So if any of you were to drop this, that's basically the section that's going to take the most impact. If we have a look at it, it actually looks like it's rubber, but it's not. That's the most deceiving plastic I've ever seen. So it looks like it's even got little grooves all through that to make it look like it's rubber, but it's actually plastic. So in terms of grip, there's not much grip whatsoever. And if you were to put this on a bench or a surface, there's a good chance it might slide off simply because it's plastic. If you were to drop this, it's rated at 2 meters for resistance in terms of dropping it. However, I wouldn't have too much faith in it, to be honest, simply because it's plastic and not rubber. You can just hear that. It doesn't really have much absorption as you would if you had rubber on the top. The next biggest problem, which is probably what ruined this whole thing for me, it's got this battery lock technology or some innovative feature on top that's apparently supposed to make it better than others. Basically what it is you're able to twist this section on top and that takes the pressure off the battery. So that means there's no more contact on the battery. So if you had to store this in the garage for a few months or a year or whatever it was, you don't actually ruin the performance of the battery, and at the same time it prevents it from having any kind of corrosion in the future. So I thought that was a really good idea until I actually used it and found out a few problems with it. As you can imagine, Coleman is an outdoor brand, so these should be geared at outdoor stuff. This one here isn't. This is more geared at an indoor, probably like that's why they call it an area light or a garage light or something like that, a work light. It's more used for indoors. However, I take this outdoors, never had a problem, even got wet a few times, never had an issue. This one here, if we have a look on the bottom of it, I'll try and twist this over. There we go. It's actually twisting now, so you can see how tight that is to twist over. That's only halfway over. What it does is, as I turn it the whole way around, I put it in the off position, which means there's no more contact on the battery. As soon as I want to use it again, I can turn that over, and then I can charge it from in here, which I thought was a really good idea, in case I wanted to charge it while I'm driving around on the way to and from my camping destination. And at the same time, it's got the USB. This was the biggest selling point, the USB section, as I thought if I'm out there, my battery goes flat on my phone, at least I can charge it with this. The problems I found with this, number one, this twist lock thing, you can listen to it from now. You can hear that grinding. That's just full of sand. The last time I used this, which was the first time I used it, I went camping on a beach, and it's got a bit of sand in there. And as you can tell, I can barely turn that over now. So I'm gonna have to pull this thing apart and see if I can get that to clear up. But that's a big problem. I mean, for something that's geared for outdoors, I'm really disappointed with this, especially because I've got a lot of Coleman stuff. I'm very, very happy with their stuff, and that's why I had confidence in buying this one. However, I'm very disappointed. With regards to the USB for charging your phone, it's a 1 amp, so that means any large devices that you've got, like a tablet or even the new phones now. So I've got the XS iPhone. It draws a lot more power than that, and that means that it's going to charge your phone very, very slow, which runs into another problem. As you charge your phone, it's kind of expected, but you'll reduce the runtime on your lantern. But to be honest, it was so slow to charge my phone. I didn't want to die out the battery with charging my phone, so I kind of just left it. The handle, it's a little metal handle, which is not too bad. You can carry it around, but my hands don't even fit in there. So it kind of probably geared this at, I don't know, small people, kids. I honestly don't have any idea whose hands can fit in this, but it's probably more for just hanging onto something. But if you wanted to walk around, it's still very comfortable to just hold it in my hand. As you can tell, I've got big hands. I can just carry this around, no problem. And that's kind of the reason why I did this review, guys. So I just wanted to show you guys, the whole purpose of this channel is just to simply help you know where to throw your money. And with regards to this Coleman, I'm really, really disappointed. So when it comes to the actual lighting itself, this one here's got a button on top, which is pretty handy. It's got a nice rubber, probably the only rubber on this whole unit. It's up on the top to turn on the light. So it's got a low, high, and a strobe. This one here just has a low and a high. So we'll turn them both on. I'll compare them. Obviously, it's still daylight now. Then I'll take them outside once it gets a bit dark, and then we'll compare these two. So this one here is now on high, and then that is on low. So we'll leave this on high for a second. Actually, I'll turn it off. And then we'll compare with this one here. That's low, high, and then in case you feel like having a seizure, it's got the strobe on there as well, so the flashing light. So like I said, guys, $30 to $40, $90. Not too happy. Let's take these outside and then we'll compare these in the dark. So now I've got a question for you guys. Let me know in the comment section below if you'd like me to expand my video range into also camping, fishing and hunting activities. Let me know in the comment section, as well as product reviews to do with those three things, as well as my how-to videos. So guys, at the end of the day, I'm only here to help everybody out. I don't want to see people throw their money like I just threw with this one here. Now I have to go out and look for another lantern. So if you guys have any suggestions on another good brand or a good product out there that I'm looking at trialing out, let me know in the comment section so I can check those ones out. Guys, as always, like, comment and subscribe. Until next time, I'm Bill. Thanks for watching. Bill's out too.